Dear students, today we will discuss the fourth definition of economics given by Professor Paul Andy Samuelson. Let us first discuss the reasons why Samuelson came up with this definition. I hope you remember the wealth definition of economics, according to which economics is the study of wealth. According to this definition, the aim of an economy should be to become only rich and not anything else. So this definition was subjected to criticism. So Alfred Marshall came up with another definition and shifted this focus to material means which promote human welfare. But he also did not say anything that resources are scarce. So Professor Robin came up with the scarcity definition of economics. His definition looked at this aspect that resources are scarce and human wants are unlimited, and these resources have alternative uses. Thus, his definition talked about the relationship between resources that have alternative uses and are scarce. So this definition was also subjected to a lot of criticism as being static, too vast, and that economic problems also arises when there is abundance. So Professor Paul Andy Samuelson, he came up with a new definition of economics which is known as growth-oriented definition. He tried to overcome all the various defects of the earlier three definitions. Professor Paul Andy Samuelson, he was an American economist. He was the first American to win the Nobel Prize in Economic Science. The Swedish Royal Academics stated that when awarding the prize in 1970, that he has done more than any other contemporary economist to raise the level of scientific analysis in economic theory. According to him, economics should also suggest how the scarce means should be used to satisfy more wants and to attain higher living standards. According to Professor Samuelson, economics is the study of how men and society choose with or without the use of money to employ the scarce productive resources which have alternative uses to produce various commodities over time and distribute them for consumption now and in future among various people and groups of society. It analyzes the cost and benefits of improving pattern of resource allocation. That means this definition introduced the dimension of growth under scarce situation. Let us now discuss the main features of Samuelson's definition. His definition deals with the economic resources which are natural, human and physical that are used to satisfy human wants. They are scarce, but they have alternative uses. All the economic resources have alternative uses. Hence, the main problem lies in making choice. Therefore, all the scarce resources should be utilized in a way that they are able to bring maximum welfare in a society. Another feature of his definition is that it must increase productivity, resulting in an increase in economic growth, employment, and higher standard of living. This definition says that economics is concerned with determining the pattern of employment of scarce resources over a period of time. Thus, the dynamic problems of production have been brought within a scope of economics. This definition does not acknowledge only allocation of resources, but they must also be fully utilized. Improvement of resources, allocation, and better distribution are Similar with economic development. Thus, the issues of development of a less developed economy have also been made subject of the study of economics. So, what is special about his definition is that his definition of economics has included all the issues that were highlighted in the earlier definitions and also the issue of economic development on the other head. Thus, the growth-oriented definition has been found to be complete and universal in nature. This because it is concerned with the economic problems of all types of economies, developed or underdeveloped. In developed economies, the problem is to maintain full employment, whereas on the other hand, in the underdeveloped economies, it is to achieve full employment and raise the standard of living of the people. Economics is thus concerned with all these issues and thus makes it universal. So that is why this definition has been found to be the best and the most widely accepted, and this makes this definition universal.